The Friday Night Football Frenzy is brought to you by Nichols College. Learn, lead, succeed. The Friday Night Football Frenzy is presented by Bay State Savings Bank.
Coming up next on the Friday Night Football Frenzy, the high school football season is upon us. We'll preview the top teams in Central Mass. College football kicks off. WPI travels to Cambridge in another edition of the Brain Bowl. Worcester State looks to start the season on a high note as the Lancers host Salve Regina, and it's fast becoming a great CMAS rivalry. The Becker Hawks host the Fitchburg State Falcons. It's Friday. We're live. Here we go. The frenzy starts right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Frenzy. Kevin Shea, Andy Lacombe will join me in just a little bit to break down the high school stuff. But believe it or not, we are underway. The college football season kicking off in Central Mass. Kicked off locally last night with Anna Maria at home. Tonight, though, a handful of games from around the area. And yes, we took the trip down the Mass Pike into Cambridge to see WPI and MIT. Beautiful view. Prudential Center and the Hancock Building. Just a great view from MIT Stadium. Opener for both teams. Of course, WPI coming off such a big year. First quarter scoreless game. Ugam Goyle, play action, fires to Matt Lindsay for the touchdown. And MIT is on the board first. It is 7-0. WPI playing some good defense. Quick pass, Brian Mahan, great stick. He fought through the block and comes up with a beautiful tackle. WPI's Sean McAllen, just a freshman. 12 yards, tough running. Through the heart of the defense. Fumbles late, WPI recovers, and they have it at the 14-yard line. Same drive, second quarter now. McAllen cuts it north-south, finds that seam, nose for the end zone, land of 6. We're tied up at 7 apiece. Goyle going up top off a play action. Perfect pass to Eddie Garcia Montez for the touchdown. MIT is back in front 14-7. WPI answering right back. McAllen, the freshman, finds the seam, bursts into the second level. Look at the speed on McAllen, running away from defensive backs. 74 yards to the house. And just like that, we're knotted up at 14 apiece. WPI attacking again. Dan Eckler rolling. Fires a strike to Brandon Ecker. That would set up a WPI field goal to go up 17-14. This one goes into overtime. WPI wins it 37-34 in OT. Becker and Fitchburg State tonight, opening up the 2016 campaign. All hugs before the game. First quarter, Falcons on the board. Javon Brown-Simpson, tough run from a yard out. Fitchburg State with a 7-0 lead. Now back comes Becker, they're driving. Naz Sinkfield Shelton hooking up with Howard Bradley, and the Hawks have a first down. It's a first and goal situation. Next play, Sinkfield Shelton to Jake Holmes. Holmes in the slot, nose for the end zone. Reaches the football out, breaks the plane. Former Westboro standout has tied the game up at 7 apiece. Here comes Chop. Alexander Stewart with the sack of Garrett Delakiai for the big loss. Delakiai, all-time leading passer in Fitchburg State history. Of course, he had a great high school career at Leominster. Going up top to Jesse Lastra. The touchdown for the Falcons. Fitchburg State wins it 27-20, your final. Salve Regina at Worcester State. First quarter, scoreless game. Worcester State's Cameron Charette looking to run, and he is brought down by Kevin Johnston. Salve's Brandon Basil fires. James Dawson into the end zone. Salve with a 6-0 lead. Now, Salve Regina had a safety, so Worcester State kicking, and this is the kick. Salve's Brendan Nunes breaking away. He is gone. 76 yards for the touchdown. Salve in front 15-0. Basil firing, and Arian Dawkins picks it off for Worcester State. Charette going deep and hooking up with Aaron Whitkus. Good job by Whitkus going up high, pointing the ball and taking it away. Sets up a 38-yard field goal by Worcester State's Noah Huang. 15-3 Salve. Second half, 23-3 Salve. Salve's Basil hands it off to Pascal for the touchdown, and Salve wins it 39-3. All right, now we've got Nichols and Westfield State. First quarter, Nichols, Chris Mullins gets it out to Joshua Pierre Charles. Pierre Charles running tough. It's a 20-yard pickup. Later in the drive, Pierre Charles takes a handoff, hits the edge, powers his way into the land of 6, and the Bison are up 7-0. Late in the first quarter, Westfield State's Sean Braithwaite keeping the ball. He takes off, and Braithwaite going for a huge 30-yard run. Same drive. Braithwaite rolling, firing a dart into the arms of Devin Lakin for the touchdown. And Westfield State gets the win in this one. 34-21 is your final. When I come back, I'll be joined by Andy Lacombe as we get into the high school previews and our picks. Stay with us. The frenzy continues right after this.
The Friday Night Football Frenzy is presented by Bay State Savings Bank.
Welcome back, everyone. Big game coming up to kick off the high school season this coming Thursday. It is the Top Cop game at Auburn. Auburn-Leicester, all the benefits, all the proceeds going to benefit the family of Officer Ronald Tarantino, who was killed in the line of duty. It's going to be a special evening. It's going to be a nice evening for the communities to come together and show the family support and show the police departments for both Auburn and Leicester support as well.
A big way to really kick off the high school football season, and a big game for both teams, but one where maybe the win isn't as important as just taking part and showing their support.
On Thursday, September 8th, Auburn and Leicester will kick off the high school football season. However, for the Wolverines and the Rockets, the opener is not just another game. It's been billed the Top Cop game in memory of Auburn police officer and Leicester resident Ronald Tarantino, who was killed in the line of duty in May. It will be a night to remember and celebrate a police officer loved by both communities.
Everybody involved in this game wishes that, it wasn't taking place under the circumstances that it is. I think this is one of those opportunities or one of those situations where, out of tragedy, some good can come.
So this game it's monumental, honestly. It's a really, really high honor.
I think it'll be great for the family. We'll raise thousands and thousands of dollars. It'll help them out. It's just good for everyone.
It's a privilege, honestly, because for Officer Tarantino and the whole community is going to be there, and it'll be a good game.
Just being part of it is huge. Everyone's chipping out. It's supposed to be like just a fun time for everyone, not just the players. Fans are going to come, the police officers are going to be there. Everyone's helping out. It's just going to be a fun time for everyone in Leicester and Auburn.
Most of us here on Leicester, we're good friends with Tarantino's son, Spencer, and honestly, it's really personal and it means a lot. Everything, this whole thing, it's just emotional, and there's no words to describe it.
In addition to the pregame ceremonies and community show of support for Officer Tarantino's family, there is still a very important football game to be played. With the shortened regular season, both the Rockets and Wolverines would love to start the year with a win.
One of the first games in Massachusetts, can't ask for that. We're so lucky, and we can't take that for granted. We're going to use every amount of hard work we can use.
Definitely a different feeling coming into the season. We've been ready the whole offseason. We've been working out since the last game of last season. So this year, I think we're more prepared this year.
We just got to go out there. We got to be physical, mentally tough, and we just got to play to the fourth quarter and not give up. I know we got a lot of guys in here putting in the work and a lot of guys that want to go out and win. So as long as we follow our keys and execute correctly, I think we should be good.
It's Auburn-Leicester. We play each other maybe once every other year, and it's always a big game. It's always a fun time.
But make no mistake, the players and coaches know there is more to this night than the game. And whatever the scoreboard shows at the conclusion, these two rivals are sending a message of support and community to a family and to police departments.
On the positive side of it, there's a lot of kids involved that have really gravitated toward what's going on, who know Officer Tarantino personally, whether they be Leicester guys with, who they played with their sons, or whether it be guys out here who know him from doing all kinds of details and things at athletic events. So it's real special, it's real emotional, and just very proud to be a part of what's going on.
Just want it to be a great night for the families and the policemen. So do we want to win? Yeah, competitive juices will take over, but I'm just so excited to be a part of it, quite honestly, and I can't wait for the coin toss to see Trish and her family out there.
Our live coverage of that game begins at 6:30 Thursday night, the Top Cop game in Auburn. All right, the Northbridge Rams coming off a Super Bowl and state championship season. It was a monumental year for Northbridge, who have been piling up wins in recent years. Northbridge may be rebuilding a little bit this year, but they have a new group looking to write their own history into the Northbridge record books. The past 3 seasons, the Northbridge Rams have piled up the wins in Central Mass. 3 state final appearances and a Division V state championship last season cemented Northbridge as one of the premier programs in the state. Fast forward to 2016, the core of that championship team has graduated. So a new group of Rams is ready to add their own chapter in Northbridge football history.
Big shoes to fill, but we're pretty happy. We had good numbers out here, and we think we got guys who can fill those roles, and we just got to make sure we coach them up.
A lot of the kids here are really willing to step up and show everyone else what we have now. It's time for us to shine, and that's why everyone's very excited for this year.
It's very exciting. It's going to be fun this year because we got a lot of good guys coming up, and I think we'll do good this year. From watching Kobe, I've learned so much, and so I think it's going to be a pretty easy switch.
In week 1, the Rams visit the St. Peter Marian Guardians. SPM has been a team on the verge in the past few years. Coming into 2016, the athletic Guardians are loose and looking forward to a big season.
Being back with everyone, you know, it's great. Everyone's giving hard work, and everyone looks 100%.
And it's exciting. It's a senior year, you know. This is it, you know, big time. So excited to be back.
Football is it's one of a kind sport. There's no other feeling like it being out here working with all your teammates, being a real family.
There's no better feeling than high school football, man. Coming out here with your best friends in the locker room, blasting music before practice, coming out here knowing you're gonna get your butt kicked into conditioning, but it's just a great feeling.
We got our first look last year at them, and it was one of our better games. I think we beat them pretty well, 46-0, I believe the score was, and they're definitely going to come back with a vengeance, of course. I mean, I know I would. So we're looking forward to see what they have next year, and I'm sure they're going to give us a run for our money.
Northbridge enters 2016 knowing there's an X on their backs. As defending state champs, they know every opponent will be looking to knock them off.
We always want to have the kind of team or the program where everyone puts an X next to it next year and are willing to compete and want to compete. And so our guys have just got to sort of lift up to that and be ready. The last 3 years have been very to Northbridge's side, so we got to make sure we keep that, and those kids have to understand that.
Knowing that every team has our name at an asterisk and circled 300 times, it honestly makes me want to come out here and just work that much harder. Just to walk around and have everyone knowing that, hey, we're Northbridge. Once we get the ball rolling, I think that this team has unlimited amount of potential on.
Nothing like opening the season with your biggest rival. That's the story for the West Boylston football team this season. The WB opening up, taking on Clinton. The two teams and the players certainly know each other very well. A lot of them lift side by side in the summertime, so this one's going to be fun and physical.
Go, fight them!
It's a big rivalry, you know. Like you said, we work with them all the time. Our towns are so close. It's going to be great to get out there and, you know, just go up against your teammate, your friend, and it's just going to be fun to hit them.
That's a big, I guess, town rivalry right there because we know a lot of Clinton guys. A lot of Clinton guys know us. We go to the gym there. So, that's just going to be an exciting game. And the fact that it's right down the road, too, so we can get a big crowd there, too, so that's always exciting. Our first drill was a 3-on-3 drill, and we got some guys that got hit up pretty good. But, I mean, that's what football is. I mean, it's fun to watch, and it's fun to be a part of that.
10 minutes down the road. We know a lot of the kids from other sports and from being with them, so I think we just gotta hit right from the start. And, you know, that's how we usually play, tough and hitting hard. So I think if we do that, we'll be all right.
Go! The kids get up for it all week. You just smack each other up. The kids, sometimes you get a little tension. That's how you get the tension out.
Who enjoys it more, you or the kids?
Me. Not a question, me.
1, 2, 3, pause.
Nothing better than Mike Ross being at any practices, whether it was North, Grafton, now West Boylston. He is so much fun to be around, and his players love him. They hit for him. Tooch is another great character. I'll say this, that team's going to be real physical.
Yeah, you know, McCoubry, he's going to have a different line in front of him, but he's so big, he's going to be tough to hide in front of a line, so he's going to be a big weapon this year.
Controversial part of our show coming up next. We'll make our picks. All right, so new this year in the high school football scene, you have 8 divisions statewide. Central Mass will be competing in 6, Western Mass in 4, and the playoff system will remain the same, except that a few teams will play at Bentley instead of playing at Gillette. So not all of the Super Bowls will be at Gillette this year. A couple at Bentley and a few at Gillette.
Yeah, but we won't get into how you feel about it. That'll be for the Frenzy Extra a little bit later on. All right, let's break down the divisions, and let's start in Division 2. I think you and I agree, a team to watch here, a new team in Division 2, Shepherd Hill. A team that was strong last year, made a strong late charge last year, not a playoff team, but lost some guys, but still have that offensive line coming back. Maybe reminiscent to a couple of years ago when Chris Lindstrom's offensive line came back. Now it's Alec Lindstrom and his offensive line, and they've added some firepower to their backfield, Kev, which was already pretty strong.
Yeah, you're right about that. Kevin Mensah coming over from Holy Name, and he tore it up last year. He's a Division I college, Division I prospect. But it all starts up front, as you said, with the line, and that's why Shepherd Hill is going to win games, and that's why they're the favorite to win this division in our eyes, is because of that line. And Alec Lindstrom is nasty. He's got a mean streak in him. His dad says, listen, he's a meaner kid than his older brother was when he was in high school. But St. John's is another team I certainly would watch out for. You look at tight end Hunter Gorgas. You look at running back Peter Oliver. Two kids that are going to be really good for this St. John's team. I think Bachalia at quarterback is very good at reading defenses, gets the ball out quickly. He's got a really accurate arm. I like him as well. There's a Padoni at wide receiver, not in a three-point stance, but at wide receiver. St. John's is going to be good as well.
Yeah, and you know what? Don't discount Algonquin. They beat that Shepherd Hill team a year ago, and they've got a lot coming back as well.
I think it's the most competitive division. Yeah. In all of the divisions, Division 2 is the most competitive division, top to bottom. I don't think anyone goes through unscathed.
Wachusett had like 600 kids in camp.
Unbelievable. And they got size, and they got strength as well. All right, now, Division 2A. I'm taking the Doherty Highlanders. Coach Sean Mulcahy, you know, they graduated a ton. Tavian Vassar, you see. I mean, what a running back. They had just such a physical team last year. But you know what? They got Vassar's younger brother on the team. They got Mahoney. They got Early. They have size up front. And they also have a tradition now. They have some new coaches, too. Unfortunately for Doherty, they lost a couple great ones with Bachalia and Coonan both retiring for the time being. But they got some great new coaches over there as well. And Sean Mulcahy captaining that team. They're going to be physical. They're going to have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to play with attitude, defending the city.
To be the best, you have to beat the best, and they were the best. Neshoba, undefeated last year. I don't think they go undefeated, the Chieftains, this time around, but in this division, they still have got guys like Jake Fire and Nate Mansour coming back, a talented running back duo and defense and linebacking core by Jamie Tucker, who's just done an amazing job with Neshoba. I think Neshoba, again, is going to be the team to beat in this division.
And you know what? You can't count out Tantascwa in this Division 2A or Marlboro. Sean Mahoney's always got that Marlboro team playing tough. He'll change the offense around week to week depending on who they're playing. He's a great offensive mind. And look at Tantascwa and what they've done over the last couple of years. That's a team that has really started to come on bigger and bigger, and I think they're going to give teams fits this year.
Yeah, Coach Beveridge, he'll have his team fired up. All right, let's go to D3. I like the Grafton Indians. They went to that Central West game last year. They had a shot in that game. Afatu Melifanu is back. He's a Division I guy. He's going to play for the Orange in a year. His older brother playing at UConn. I think Grafton has enough coming back with an athletic guy like Melifanu for Chris McMahon's team to make another run in this division.
Yeah, and Chris McMahon's going to have them fired up on the line. You know he's going to want to hit every single day. Auburn is going to be my pick here. I think a lot of people look at Grafton and say they're the favorites, but I'm looking at Steve Saucier, a 4-year starter at quarterback. You cannot underestimate how important it is to have a guy at quarterback that has seen it all, that has played in all different types of games against all different types of defenses. I think Sauce is going to be the difference this year for Auburn. They have a good line. They're not, you know, the Nebraska line they had when they had that great 5-year run. They're more in line with a line that you would see a small school like Auburn is. That's what happens when you're a small school. But Saucier is going to be the difference. I like Auburn in that division.
Well coached in that group. All right, 3A. Nipmuc, for me, was a team that was close a year ago, finished 6-5 and beat their rivals on Thanksgiving Day. Derek DeMarzo and a young group of juniors, now seniors. This team, Nipmuc, I think, is poised in a wide-open division in 3A. There's a lot of teams that lost a lot of talent from a year ago. I think a lot of talent back for Nipmuc.
Yeah, and I look at Burncoat, and I look at the job that Rick Sincotta has done over there. He has done a phenomenal job. It starts with getting numbers, getting kids to come out for the program, and sticking with it. Football, as we've said so many times, is not a fun sport to practice. It's hard work. It's very hard. It's difficult. He has got guys in the program that are sticking with the program. The numbers are there. Now they're getting depth. They're getting some of the athletes in the school out to play football. I think Coach Sincata's done a great job. There's a lot of pride in that Burncoat program. Guys that are coming back that have some experience. And as they mentioned, they did a lot of work this summer in the weight room. That's going to pay off this year.
All right, well, Division 4 is a division where, you know, a lot of different teams now in the mix against each other. You've got West Boylston and Leicester and Oxford and Prouty and teams like that in this division. West Boylston, for us, we've seen him. We've seen Cole McCoubrey. We know where he's going. He's going to play Division I football. He is a big dude. He's got some guys. Now Regan I like as a speed back, kind of a counter guy to him. They've got some talent there. And, you know, Tooch and Rossi seem to just find magic in offensive line. So even if they have to rebuild that offensive line, I think they're going to be strong, the Lions.
Yeah, they're going to be tough. You know that with Tooch and with Ross as well. Unfortunately for Reagan, he broke his leg in a scrimmage against Westboro, so he's going to be out for about 2 months, and that's the whole regular season. They got to hope they get to the playoffs and then get Reagan back after that. It's a huge loss for the WB. You and I saw Reagan in the preseason, looked real good, commanding runner, so other guys are going to have to step up for it. But you look at that Leicester team, and we saw them, and Leicester with Matt Morrow, 6'7". He has done so much work in the weight room in the offseason. He's a great basketball player, so you know he's got feet and he's got hands, but he really dedicated himself to football in the offseason, lifting, running, getting himself better. And Tim Griffith said he's the poster boy right now for what you can accomplish if you put your mind to it and work hard in the weight room. He's going to be a beast for Leicester, and he's their key to winning.
My main man, Darrell Beer Jr., is back at Prouty. And over at Leicester, as long as Griff has Rigo, he's all set. That's a huge staff over there at Leicester, and they are primed for a big season. All right, let's move on to the last division here, 4A. Blackstone Valley Tech is the team I'm looking at. Arch, he's been sour. He's been salty probably all in the offseason. They lost their last 4 games, including a trip into the vocational playoffs. They were a young team coming back. They lift. They work hard. They've got a team meteorologist. I'm going with BVT. They've got a team meteorologist.
We might need some help from that team meteorologist at some point during our year. I'm going to go with the Worcester Tech Eagles. The Eagles soaring this year. You look at coaching staffs, and of course, Jeff Lane does such a great job. Pat Phoenix on that staff. That entire staff does a great job with this Worcester Tech football team. And when you have an athlete like Hanlon coming back, it doesn't matter where they put him. If they put him at quarterback, running back, put him in the slot, wherever you put him, Hanlon is going to be effective. He's a game changer defensively as well. He's just a phenomenal athlete. And that Worcester Tech team, one thing they always have, great chemistry. And that starts at the top. It starts with Jeff Lane. He brings that team chemistry in, the work ethic. And that's a team, again, that kind of lays in the weeds, but I think they're going to surprise teams.
Yeah, and you know, they're a team with their senior class a couple of years ago, got a taste of that playoff atmosphere and now want to get that back. And, you know, you never bet against Phoenix, Kev. You know,
no,
those guys
certainly don't. He'll
really
throw you through a wall if you do.
You got it.
He'll pick you up and throw you like a piece of ball sword.
Yeah.
All right, we are going to be right back after this message.
The Friday Night Football Frenzy is brought to you by Nichols College. Learn, lead, succeed. Berterra Nissan of Auburn. Unibank. Pucci's Fine Jewelry. The law offices of Joseph J. Carigula. The Sullivan Group. The Central Mass Safety Council. And Milford Federal.
All right, so this is what we have on tap for you this week. We have got Thursday night. It is the top cop game. It's going to be an emotional atmosphere there at Auburn High School, Leicester and Auburn. Then Friday, we have got the Frenzy, all the high school games for you on tap. We're back just what you expect. 16, 18 games, pregame speeches, the works. And then on Saturday, Northbridge and St. Peter Mary and the Guardians out for revenge. Northbridge hung a big number on them a year ago. All right, thanks for watching the Frenzy, everyone. Busy week coming up. We will see you on Thursday night for Auburn and Leicester. Have a great weekend, everyone.